you, Chair Crichton. Thank you, Chair Strauss, and distinguished members of the committee. I'm here to speak on House Bill 3272 and Senate Bill 2277. Hello, my name is John Troxel. I'm a 25-year bus driver for Baton Brockton, and I'm president and business agent of Amalgamated Local Transit Union, Local 1547, that represents Baton and Brockton, Gatra and Taunton, which consists of drivers, mechanics, maintenance employees, call takers, and monitors. I'd like to speak to the impact the bus service provides and increased funding we so desperately need. Our bus service is the lifeline for many of our most needy members of our community. The elderly and handicapped who use our paratransit system to make important doctor's appointments or door-to-door service to get to life essentials like food shopping. Funding to keep these buses on the road that is the lifeline for our most vulnerable citizens, who in many cases have no one else to help them. Some routes, due to funding, have been discontinued, and while this may seem insignificant to some, one might say they only have to walk a half mile to the other route. This distance to some of our elderly or handicapped riders is insurmountable, especially during inclement weather this time of year. I've firsthand seen the impact of transit and the difference it makes in some people's lives. Excuse me. We have a young homeless woman in her early 20s who's now a success story. Early on, she used the bus as a place to stay warm, taking the bus from a homeless shelter to the city library. Now, with self-determination, she started using the bus to get to different agencies in the city. She's now got assistance getting herself housing and got herself a job. None of this would have been possible without that city bus to transport her in her times of need. She's utilizing the bus to go to and from work and from home every day, thanks to this hand up, not handout. Also, the RTAs provide a living wage thanks to the partnership of the Amalgamated Transit Union and administrations working together in the collective bargaining agreement to make a safe, reliable transportation. I'm a 25-year veteran bus driver. This job has given me and my family a steady income to put my daughter through law school and my son a successful licensed electrician with a stable environment. I was able to provide my family thanks to your funding. With the baby boomer generation retiring, there's now a worker shortage nationwide in our industry. The only way to get qualified candidates is to offer competitive wages and lure these candidates in and continue to run full service, to continue to run a full service, which additional funding is needed to provide this, which is why I asked the funding floor be raised to meet these needs, not just now, but on a permanent basis. I'm ready to work with the legislature to strengthen our transit system statewide and urge you to report H3272 and S2277, an act to increase regional transit accessibility in the Commonwealth, favorably in committee without delay. Thank you for the ability to submit this testimony, and feel free to ask any questions or contact me for any assistance. I love to drive, so to me, it's not a job. You obviously have to be a people person in this line of work. The administration, I'm not just blowing smoke, but the management team that we have is really good to work for. Again, I can't stress enough, I have some college background, but really didn't know what I was going to do with my life and knew nothing about unions, and these jobs provide, I can't stress enough that, I have a beautiful home in Brockton. I have a vacation home that I was able to get in Maine, put my kids through college, and I can't stress enough that this job did that for me. And I was afraid when I got to the point of my testimony about my son and my daughter, I was going to break down, because it really does hit home that it does that. And it's, we're even working with programs right now currently to do mentorship programs for veterans and things like that to get them a job that pays for housing as well. So it's, but the problem is there's so many other jobs out there, you just can't get the candidates. So, I mean, even the T right now, I believe they're doing a $7,500 signing bonus just to get people in, and they can't attract people. So, and they're the top rate in the country as far as drivers, and they have a huge shortage. So it's a problem, again, industry-wide. It's not just here in Massachusetts, but it's across the country that I've heard through my brothers and sisters in the union, not only here, but even in Canada. Mm-hmm. So it's a problem. to try to cut costs, they'll combine routes, and they'll leave a whole section out. And again, it doesn't sound like much, but if you have somebody with a walker and they have no family, and so, they're using that bus to go to the grocery store, and they have their walker full of bags, now they're expected to go from that bus stop to, a half mile out, say, from where the bus used to maybe pull right in front of their house. And now they're all by themselves, and they're, with a walker trying to get groceries, whether it's somebody who's elderly or handicapped. It's, something that we just take for granted. Another thing that people don't realize is how many school kids just use the bus to get back and forth that, maybe are within that range where they're not far enough to take the school bus, but we have a lot of kids that take the city bus to get to and from school. So it's an important lifeline in that. And when some of these routes get cut, it's further out that our kids have to walk, and that a lot of people just don't realize. Or maybe we might run high school specials or specials to the different schools that if the funding's cut, they don't have the money to maybe run some of those extra routes to get the kids to and from school.
Thank you. Thank you for your testimony.